Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today we're just jumping right into Road to Ranked. In the last episode, we featured a really fun team with Lugia, so we'll be playing a couple more games with it today. You can find details for the team down in the description below. For the first game today, we're up against Solgaleo. Okay. Glastrier and Moltres on the opposing side definitely scares me a little bit as well. Lugia's not bad here. I mean, we definitely have to respect the Bulldoze combo, right? Bulldoze from not the Calyrex, the Spectrier into Solgaleo. Can't really stop it with Raichu. You know what's a cheeky play? Nah, this doesn't really work. I was gonna say like Tailwind Nuzzle, but no, I just don't think that's a good play. I mean, I honestly think Solgaleo plus Spectrier is really good here. Lugia can't really counter that, nor can I one-shot. So that's a problem for sure. I can Tailwind with Whimsicott. I feel like I probably need to Tailwind here, but it doesn't feel ideal. Whimsicott. I think it's probably Moltres, Raichu, Lugia, but in what order? Whimsicott, Moltres, Raichu, Lugia in the back. I just can't go Raichu, Lugia in the front, I think, because you can just bulldoze. Oh, I guess maybe I take a +2 Rockfall, and then the question is how much a +2 Max Quake does into... No, but then you bulldoze into Raichu, which means, yeah, Solgaleo outspeeds Raichu, and then you could double up onto Raichu instead, so, yeah. We'll have to see. I think Lugia's a very volatile Pokemon. It can either just completely dominate matchups or be, like, completely useless, so it is very matchup dependent. So yeah, let's get into the first game. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed, please show your support by leaving a like. I'd really appreciate it. Question of the day, inspired by the comment section yesterday. Someone said I should ask this as a question of the day. I thought it was a really good point. So I want to know what Pokemon you love competitively but hate design-wise. Let me know in the comment section below. I mean, I think it's just Tailwind and Fiery Wrath, but like, it just doesn't feel good. Because you just knock out Moltres, I suppose, right? It's like, I could protect Moltres here, expecting them to Rockfall into it, and then so I buy 2 turns of Dynamax. I think it's just Tailwind, Fiery Wrath, and I mean, if I... Well, actually, I guess Spectre here doesn't even need a Bulldoze. If you're expecting me to Fiery Wrath or just Max Darkness that slot. Yeah, I mean, we used Spectre Solgaleo a couple weeks ago. It's a really good duo, in my opinion, and something you should definitely be considering. And, yeah, Lugia, like, even if we get the policy off, it just loses the trade-off. Like, I think Lugia is going to be weaker against most Dynamax restricted mons. But we didn't have a great answer to Solgaleo here. I guess outside of Moltres. Maybe I need Lugia then? I don't know. Oh, they're still faster. Jeez, this Moltres is slow then. Oops. Unless it's Scarf Spectrier. Kind of surprised it outsped us there. Yeah, it's obviously not great. But maybe they Steel Spike into Whimsicott, thinking that we might have protected here. I just think Rockfall into Moltres is really safe if you actually have it. It is Steel Spike, but maybe it's just Steel Spike into Moltres. Okay, they do Steel Spike into Whimsicott. That makes this interesting. Because now I wonder whether or not they even have Rockfall. Wait, is Spectre really that fast that it outspeeds Moltres in their Tailwind? Like, Choice Scarf makes a lot of sense for a team like that, so I wouldn't be surprised if it were Scarf. Remember Raichu and Nuzzle now? I don't want to be, like, relying on Paras this early, though. Okay. I think it's Scarf. Which means you would activate a policy. 224? You should be Scarfed, right? So that means you're actually going to have to activate a policy here. So maybe I just Max Quake here. And go for another Fiery Wrath. I guess you just knock out Moltres, though. So probably it was better to double protect this turn. And then go for this next turn. Because Raichu can't protect. Yeah, so I don't need to push the tempo this much. I mean, the upside is that Snarl will activate our policy. Oh, I guess Lugia might outspeed, though. Oh, it does. Okay, that's not great. You know, I honestly did more than I expected, and it's kind of sad I expected it to do less. I could have gone an Airstream Fiery Wrath there then. That may have been smarter. Yeah, they do Snarl, so they are going to activate the policy on Lugia, but if you have Rockfall here, it's going to hurt. However, this is actually still definitely winnable if they targeted Lugia this turn over Moltres, because then I think Lugia can actually take an attack. And then we can just Airstream Fiery Wrath, or Earth Power Fiery Wrath next turn. Because we're getting good damage on the board now. Oh, they do have Rockfall though, okay. Who's that going into? It's gonna be Lugia. Can we survive? Lugia survives. Okay. So, we're not out of it yet. We are not out of it yet. Especially because we know you are... I don't think Airstream picks up the knockout. I'm at +1 right now. So Max Quake will KO. I could see my opponent just max guarding Solgaleo, but I think I'm willing to just Max Quake here. And Fiery Wrath. Actually, let's double check what they have in the back. Lugia could maybe pull it off. Lugia Moltres. Okay. I'm going to Quake and just Wrath here. I think Max Guard's definitely a big possibility, though, so let's see if they make it. They don't Max Guard. Okay, that's a big deal. So can we get the knockout with Max Quake? We do. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. However, this was actually an opportunity to have Nasty plotted with Moltres instead. Because I actually want my opponent's Spectrier to be on the field right now. I didn't want to take that knockout. So, I think I should have considered switching or Nasty plotting there instead. They're actually going to miss Snarl on Moltres, okay. Yeah, that has to be Spectrier, right? There's just no other explanation for it outspeeding. You know, I'm going to double check after this game, though. I also think, like, yeah, if you weren't Scarf, you would have just Shadow Balled at this point, so. We have one more turn of Dynamax to work with. So, yeah, I think the fact they went Rockfall into Lugia over Moltres was a really big deal, and that is the upside of Lugia. It can survive these really, really powerful, super effective attacks. Fortunately for us, our opponent actually ended up activating that policy, so we were actually able to retaliate back with some good damage as well. So here's Fini in the back. That's not surprising. And it's Landorus. Wow, okay. I think that's actually really good for us. It's going to be a close finish, because I just can't do much damage into Fini, but I can one-shot Landorus with a Hailstorm right now. And I have Grass Knot on the Raichu as well, right? So, like, here I can switch Moltres out into Raichu and just max Hailstorm into Landorus. Wow, Lugia might actually pull this off. That'd be sick. Yeah, Hailstorm, switch out into Raichu. I mean, of course, now I wish I had Cortana, but I think I needed Moltres Lugia. I think I needed Whimsicott for the Tailwind on turn 1 as well. And Cortana just didn't feel great, especially until, like, it doesn't do much in the Solgaleo. So, let's see if Landorus is, like, Scarfed here. That would also be a problem, I guess. Or Protect, but yeah, it's neither. We do get the Hailstorm off. The other question here is, does the Fini actually knock out the Lugia in this position? Because if not, I can just fake out Aeroblast, Grass Knot Aeroblast. And then, like, it is a 3v1, but if Fini could easily just Calm Mind here too, right? And that's a big problem. I think they should if they have it. Yep. I don't know, maybe I could have Airstreamed Fini there, but that doesn't feel great. It's a 3v1, but the thing is, I think Fini can easily pull this off still, which is what's so scary. 39, 28 Hail. So we can take one more chip of Hail. They're lefties. I guess I'd rather see lefties over like a bulkier berry here. Fini should just Protect here during my fake out Aeroblast. It's going to be a close finish, because I do have the Assault Vest here, and I can flinch with Air Slash, and I can crit with Aeroblast as well. Oh no, I do faint from Hail here, don't I? That's not ideal. So, here's what I can actually do. I can actually swap Raichu out into Moltres, expecting them to Protect. Lugia faints, I bring in Raichu back in, and then I get a fake out off, because I think you Protect here. I guess you could just Moonblast Raichu too. No, but there's no reason not to Protect here. They didn't Protect? Oh, wow. We do crit with Aeroblast, though. They went for Muddy Water. I can't believe they didn't Protect. I mean, I think it's fine, because it's still the same scenario. And we were lucky to get that crit. Aeroblast obviously has a higher crit chance, but now I get Raichu in. I think that might be enough to win the game, actually. I am shocked they didn't protect. But I guess you didn't... Yeah, I mean, I thought they would, because Lugia would just faint from Hail, but maybe they didn't know Lugia would faint from Hail, so they were like, eh. I mean, now I think they protect. Oh, but Fake Out Nasty Plot's very free here, right? There's no reason not to Nasty Plot, because if you protect, I get a free plot, and yeah, they go for protect now. That's a great read, I guess, to not go for it last turn. I'm just, we would have lost if they Moonblasted the Raichu slot, so I don't think they needed to Muddy Water. Moonblast on a Raichu's better, but I think the Muddy Water indicates to me that they were afraid we weren't going to faint from Hail. I think we were. I actually don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah. Okay. How much do we take from Hail? Honestly, don't remember. I just stated a number like 3 minutes ago, but yeah, now I can Volt Switch. I think Volt Switch does more than Grass Knot, right? Especially with same type attack bonus, so we just Volt Switch and Air Slash here. We could still miss Air Slash, which is scary. But I think even if this double up doesn't KO, another Volt Switch with Hail should. And we do hit the Air Slash, which is nice as well. And that's enough for a knockout. Okay, nice. So obviously we were lucky to get that crit with Lugia. Aeroblast increased crit chance, but still, like, I think we maybe would have had this game anyway. Just because Raichu's Volt Switch is doing like 20-25% even after a Calm Mind. So I'm thinking even if we don't crit there, yeah, like we have enough firepower in the end. But that's the scary thing. Calm Mind Fini against, we had 3 special attackers in this endgame. Didn't actually look super good, but Lugia came through for us, honestly. I didn't have super high expectations for it into this matchup specifically, but based off the lead, I was like, okay, I also want, well, we're already starting the game, but I want to double check how fast Spectrier is. That had to have been Choice Scarf. What are the odds? Another Solgaleo Spectrier team, wow. You know what, I'm just going to double check now, because yeah, that's really important information. I think it had to have been Scarfed. It just doesn't make any sense otherwise, but maybe I am just super off here. And I just want to confirm that. So, let's see. Now, my opponent here has a Grimmsnarl, which is definitely pretty scary. Yeah, you hit 200 speed with Spectrier, so that was definitely Scarfed. Okay. Scarf Spectrier makes a lot of sense, though, right? Because you get the Bulldoze off before anything can really do anything to the Spectrier. It just guarantees it. And then you lower your opponent's speed, too. So in that last matchup, how did I approach it? We just went Whimsicott, Moltres, Lugia, Raichu. Still debating about Kartana. Here's the thing, they have Porygon. And not bringing Stack Attacka into a matchup against Porygon feels so bad. I mean, this is tough because all of our Pokemon are decent to some extent. I'm gonna go Whimsicott, Moltres, Lugia. I'm not gonna bring Raichu this time, I think. I'm gonna bring Stack instead. Mainly because I think Porygon is just so tough to deal with. I don't know, maybe Kartana's better. I do get Sacred Sword into Solgaleo. Yeah, Solgaleo is interesting though. It's good to know that that +2 Rockfall doesn't one-shot Lugia, so Lugia can take a +2 max move from the Solgaleo, which shouldn't be surprising. I mean, it's Lugia we're talking about here, but yeah, it's just Spectre Solgaleo again. What are the odds we play it 2 games in a row? That's wild. Alright. Last time I went... See, the thing is, like, I don't know if I Fiery Wrath here again. Maybe I... Ugh. But if you're my opponent, like, the thing is... if they just max Rockfall Moltres last game, that also would have been pretty bad. Maybe it's fine to Fiery Wrath Tailwind. Because we have Stack Attacker for the endgame now. As opposed to last time, like... I was only relying on Moltres and Lugia, so if Moltres went down on turn 1, all my eggs were basically in the Lugia basket, and that's not good. But in this game, we have Stack Attacka. I just think... Oh, they protect! Wow, that's actually really surprising to me. I'm very happy about that. I'm shocked to see Protect, quite honestly, but I think they were probably expecting Dynamax and Max Darkness into Solgaleo. Like, that makes a lot of sense. Here's the thing, though. Now, you actually just don't get the policy off if I just don't go for Fiery Wrath into Solgaleo. Yeah, and they just Snarl. Because now what I can do is just Air Slash and Dazzling Gleam. I can even Nasty Plot with Moltres, but I think we definitely don't want Bulldoze to go off this turn. So, I'm just going to Air Slash into Spectrier and Gleam into it. Because that should be a KO. The Protect makes a lot of sense. I think if you're, from my opponent's perspective, you want to cover for Moltres maybe maxing, respect the potential Life Orb Moltres as well. But I'm happy about that. I think this turn worked out better than I expected it to. I'm honestly amazed Lugia was able to put in the work there. And that, like, it did what it needed to do, which was pick up the knockout onto Solgaleo after we chipped away at it, and then get a one-shot onto something that wasn't Solgaleo. So, yeah. Obviously happy about that. They switch out Spectrier. Nice play. And it is Porygon. So this is why I wanted to bring the Stack Attack in the first place. Their Trace. Oh, man. A lot of you pointed out yesterday, by the way, with Whimsicott, with Raichu, Eerie Impulse doesn't work because of the Lightning Rod, and that was a good catch that I should have caught on a little bit better in yesterday's episode. But we don't even have Raichu this time around, so yeah. I think Trace, Eerie Impulse, Foul Play is really common right now, so that's not good for us. On one hand, I'm glad, because I at least have the Stack Attack in the back, but on the other hand, like, I don't know how much damage I can really do. And I don't know if I'll really get that policy activated either. It's going to be Steel Spike into Whimsicott, yep. So I can't taunt anymore either, and they get a defense boost. None of those are good for us. Here's the problem now, yeah, I mean, sure I get Lugia in, but I can't even activate Weakness Policy on it. Dynamaxing it here makes very little sense. I can bring out Stack Attacka to bait a max Quake into it and switch out into Lugia. My opponent might just Steel Spike into Moltres, though. I don't know. I'm honestly contemplating Nasty Plot here. Switch out into Lugia. And Dynamax Stack Attacka, by the way, is a possibility for us, too, where we just max Steel Spike 3 times, and then just boost it up defensively, and then after Dynamax, just Body Press everything. Turn 1 was good. Porygon is just so tricky because, like, I need Whimsicott or Stack to deal with it. It's, like, very specific Pokemon in order to properly beat it. So, unfortunately, I don't think Lugia will have as much of an impact in this game. I wish I had some way to self-proc the policy right now. Maybe they if they actually went, like, Foul Play, for example. Max Quake Foul Play into the Stack Attack slot. That would be huge. They do Max Quake, so that's good. I think it's Trick Room. They did go for Foul Play. Tell me it's Lugia. Oh, my gosh. Let's go. Wait, that's so huge. That's actually so huge. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Okay, I don't even know if I knock out with the +1 Air Slash and a +2 Arrow. But I think I go for it. Oh, we're about to find out. Oh, Lugia, please. We could also flinch with Air Slash, so that's the other good thing, but that turn could not have played out any better. I mean, that was like... It's not a great matchup, right? So you have to find ways to try to claw your way into it. It's still going to be tough, but if we actually if we get this KO, I think we actually are in a very commanding spot to win the game. I just don't know if we get the knockout. I think, oh, it's so close. It's +1 Air Slash, but I think we're just going to miss out on it. I could have doubled up onto Solgaleo with Max Quake Fiery Wrath, but I didn't know if that was enough for a KO. Berserk activates, which is hilarious. Oh, it's +1 Air Slash. I don't think it's enough. I wish we had like a Life Orb here. Never mind. I'm sorry for doubting you, Moltres. Okay, and they go for Rockfall. Probably onto Moltres, right? Oh, they target Lugia. Okay, wow. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even switching the Stack Attack out to expect the policy activation, because I think Trick Room is a little bit safer for my opponent there with Porygon, but I think the reason my opponent didn't want to go for it was because Max Quick wouldn't KO with Shuckaberry, and then they were like, okay, I don't want them to reverse my Trick Room with Stack Attack. And like, Stack Attack is obviously kind of scary to go up against when Trick Room is up, but we're actually in a perfect position now. Wow. Okay. That's the tricky thing, though. I do think, you know, having another way to self-activate policy on Lugia with this team would be really, really hype. But I think now we can just Fiery Wrath and, let's see, we already got a speed boost, right, through the Airstream. So Fiery Wrath here is really safe. I think it's just Fiery Wrath and Max Quake. Unless it's Scarf Spectre again, but +2 Max Quake. I don't even know if that knocks out Solgaleo, but okay, they don't protect. So that's really good. So we got Max Quake off. Alright, that actually is a one-hit KO onto regular Solgaleo. I just have no idea how to, like, gauge Lugia's damage output, but I guess it's just super effective attacks against non-max Pokemon when you're at +2 should get the one-hit KO. It is impressive it actually knocked out Solgaleo there, honestly. Wait, so... Oh, I don't know if Moltres at +1 outspeeds Spectrier, but that's okay. They snarl, but Fiery Ratchet KO, and now it's 4v1 essentially. So, yeah, I mean, this game played out really well as well, but I think in like a best of 3, my opponent would just be a lot more hesitant of going for a foul play on a Lugia switch-in. But if anything, this is an example of how you can turn what seems like a really bad situation into a slightly better situation. The main thing here is that my opponent didn't get the policy activated on their... they didn't get the policy activated on their Solgaleo, and that just significantly reduces the damage output that you can do, right? So, let's see. Sorry, it's a 3v1. We have Stack Attack in the back, which is obviously good. It's our last turn of Dynamax. We're at +1 speed, +1 speed def. I think it's pretty safe to Nasty Plot here, and just Hailstorm. Because Policy should be on the Solgaleo. So I don't need to worry about Policy on Moltres. And with the special defense boost and a speed boost, we're always going to outspeed with our Moltres as well. So we'll win the endgame, just one Moltres versus Moltres. I have to say, I really didn't think Lugia into a Solgaleo matchup would actually be good. But, yeah, Pokemon's all about finding ways to make your Pokemon work, right? Sometimes it just doesn't work. But Lugia actually has, like, decent offensive typing here. I could have just gone for Air Slash, but the Nasty Plot just covers for them protecting there. And... like, we have an insured endgame with our Moltres against theirs, so yeah. They have a Berserk boost, but they can't really do much into Moltres, and... yeah, I guess that's the good thing about Lugia. Its bulk is crazy. You just need that Policy activated. I think, like, if Policy doesn't get activated, it just does so little damage. So, we needed the knockout onto Porygon that turn, but fortunately enough for us, we were able to get it. So, yeah. I can just Air Slash and Blizzard now, and that should be GG. I didn't really think we'd go up against Solgaleo Moltres. Solgaleo, Spectrier, back-to-back games. But it is a very strong archetype. I mean, when I used Pado's team, the ranked #1 Solgaleo Spectrier team we featured about like a week and a half ago, it was one of the best teams I've used in this format. Like, it was super, super consistent, even when I'm practicing with it. Like, very intuitive. And we didn't even really, like, scratch the surface of that team, I feel like. Was that just Pado's team? Because I feel like that one had Porygon too. I don't really remember too well. Wow, is that a Zamazenta? I have to literally Google how to... yeah, Zamazenta, that's what it is. I have not seen one of these at all. That's really cool. This reminds me a lot of Yuki's team with, like, yeah, Porygon, or Glastrier, Amoonguss. I guess that's, like, not exactly super crazy to see. What's it called again? Zamazenta. I literally haven't even played against one of these in-game. I think I played against one out of, like, 100+ games online. So I don't really know what to expect. Very tough to get. If we were Brutal Swing here, it'd be pretty easy to get the Policy active, but they also have Glastrier, so, like, I don't know how good Lugia really is here. I like Whimsicott for Taunt into Porygon and Amoonguss. I mean, I think we probably want to max Stack Attack here. Stack Attack is on this team for the Trick Room matchup. Okay, I'm down to try out Whimsicott, Cortana, Stack. I'm going to bring Moltres. I just don't think Lugia does much for us here. Maybe I'm underestimating Zamazenta, but... or not even underestimating, but, like, maybe Lugia is actually not bad against Zamazenta, but, I don't know. Yeah, I think Stack Attack is our main win con for us in this one, so... this is a game where I just didn't see Lugia doing very much for us. Yeah, especially with Glastrier. Cinderace Glastrier is a really good lead from their end, though. I think it covers anything I could have gone for. This is scary for sure. I guess there was an opportunity to bring Lugia with this. Like, I mean, this is not good. It's definitely not good, because they have so much offense right from the start of this match. Now, of course, I can like Tailwind. If I'm my opponent, I'm probably just Pyro Ball into Kartana, Max Hailstorm into Whimsicott. Gosh, what do I even do against that? This is not good. I think, honestly, I just double Protect turn 1 to bypass, like, stall to turn of their Dynamax. Because I think one of these two Pokemon max. Oh, interesting. Into Porygon, okay. You know, I don't mind that too much, because I can at least taunt and then get Stack Attacka in. But yeah, like, Lugia was not going to be good here, because, like, against Glastrier, even if I lead Raichu Lugia, and they actually Dynamax Cinderace. Okay, well, I assume it's just Max Flare into... Or sorry, G-Max Pyro Ball into Kartana. Man, I mean, what else could I have done here? Let's call Kartana. Moltres. No, I can't lead Moltres or Lugia. Like, Ice types are just so bad. Because they beat, like, the main sweepers of the team. This is probably just going into Kartana, right? Yep. So, ends up being a waste of a Protect, but the reason I think it's still worth going for there, because I think Cinderace going for a, just regular Pyro Ball and maxing Glastrier there is definitely a possibility. I think we're just going to fall behind too quickly in this game, though. Yeah. Like, of course I can Tailwind here, but then they can just Trick Room. Although you probably expect Taunt. I guess I will Tailwind. And go for a... I need any damage onto Cinderace. I don't know. Raichu Lugia wouldn't have worked here. Maybe... No, but I think the combination of Cinderace plus Glastrier is just so good. Oh, they actually Airstream. Okay. Do we survive that with Koba Berry? We might. That'd actually be a really big deal. That would be a very, very big deal. Okay, we hang on with 6. I bet Porygon's Ice Beam means one thing here, but it means that I don't at least lose both of my Pokemon immediately, which is a good thing for us. And it's going to be Tri-Attack. Okay, that makes sense. Onto Kartana, yeah. Here's the thing. I think we can actually win the game with the Dynamax Stack Attacka. Maybe we just go for it now, right? Does it make sense to just max now? If you're my opponent, you probably just max Knuckle into this thing. I mean, I could max guard. I also don't know if Moltres will outspeed under Tailwind because they're at +1 speed. I need to restudy my Moltres speed tiers a little bit. Here's what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards max... Oh, that's the wrong max. Max guarding stack. And then I get Moltres out, but then you just... High Jump Kick's actually even stronger, isn't it? What if I just switch Stack Attack out here? That doesn't seem good either. I don't know. I don't know what the best line of action to take there was. Zamazenta comes out, which is really cool. I honestly don't even know what that does. Gets a defense boost, but... I guess that alone is a problem for us in this matchup, too. I can taunt it, though. Yeah, but it can just close combat us. I mean, if for some reason they targeted Whimsicott here, like, I'm expecting Max Knuckle into the Stack Attacka. They have so much offense, but so much good defense, too, which is really cool to see. And I think they just played well from the start of this game, too. Oh, they Steel Spike to get a defense boost. I honestly didn't think they had Steel into Stack Attacka, too. Interesting. That's a really good play, though, because it means you survive, and it means I can't even KO you next turn. Really well done. I wasn't sure if I had Steel Spike, because it already revealed... I mean, Pyro Ball, Airstream... Oh, those are pretty standard. Steel Spike. With Life Orb, I don't even know if it's running Protect. I think Cinderaces are not running Protect very frequently nowadays. The thing is, does it High Jump Kick here? Like, I want to taunt into... Man, I mean, I could double protect. I could, because then your Cinderace changes typing. I have a defense boost on this thing. Tailwind's up. That doesn't really favor us, though. I think I like taunt here. Is this just pure fighting type, by the way? No, it's fighting steel, right? How do I beat this? I guess I need a Lugia, maybe. Dazzle. I think we win the game with defense boost. I'm gonna protect here. That was a really good max steel spike, because if they went for... Oh, I guess max flare also would have been good for them. Sucker punch. Probably sucker punch close combat here, yeah. So they had sucker punch too. Those are the standard ones, I guess. Fire, flying, dark, sub. Oh. So they don't have fighting. Wow. That's fascinating, honestly. Howl as well. I mean, that was a perfect turn by them. I think I could have gotten away with it. I really was nervous about like a high jump kick going into our spot there, right? I'll Fiery Wrath here. And honestly, go for another defense boost here. I just don't think I can beat Zamazenta. This thing is it's too good. That was so cool. Yeah, I think the Zamazenta sets I've seen are more obviously defensive. You're not doing much damage with it, but this thing's still actually a pretty big offensive threat. We still have one turn of Tailwind left, but I don't know. I want to say I can bring Lugia, but it's forcing it too hard, honestly. Yeah, they do outspeed Moltres. So they're gonna Iron Head there. If we flinch with... No, even if we flinch, there's no way the stack attack I can... Oh, we actually get flinched. Close combat, actually, almost just one-shots there. Yeah, I was thinking if we flinch Zamazenta there, maybe there's like a very small chance we can come back, but probably not. Close combat's just too good against stack attack. I don't know, this is a really tough matchup, and my opponent executed it really nicely. Like, great Steel Spike, great Sucker Punch. They played the last 3 turns of Cinderace perfectly, and in the end, they didn't even have a fighting type attack, which I was nervous about. It was Fire, Flying, Dark, Steel. And that's the cool thing about Cinderace, right? You have like 7 strong typings that you can run. Poison, Normal, Fighting are up there as well, right? So, yeah. Really well played. This was a really clean game from their end. I don't know. I feel like I have to work really hard for a win here. Like, they also led really well. I think Cinderace, Glastrier, like, this is a good example of team preview. My opponent found a lead where it's like, I don't even know how I can beat Cinderace, Glastrier with any combination of what we had here. Turn 1 was really cool too. Oh, yeah, I'm fascinated about this team. So, Iron Head close combat, Howl wide guard. Yep, okay. G-Zapdos. Sash Amoonguss, yeah, that's pretty standard. Eviolite P2. Tri-Attack, Foul Play, Recover, Trick Room. AV Glastrier. And then Life Orb Cinderace. Yeah, with the, man, Cinderace is good. I haven't seen that in a minute too. I mean, if I go Lugia... It just feels so bad against a Dynamax AV Glastrier, right? What can I really do there against it? Doesn't feel like I do very much damage. But sometimes, you know, I think you, like... That's the cool thing about running Pokemon that are a little bit less common in their format right now, like Zamazenta. First of all, I didn't even, like... It wasn't just Zamazenta that was a problem. It was kind of everything. But Cinderace isn't exactly, like, the most common pick at the moment right now as well. And so, yeah, it was just cool to see a lot of those picks. And I think my opponent played pretty much perfectly, honestly. Great switches. They played really well with Cinderace, and so that's something I have to go back to the drawing board and think about, because there's no immediate fix for me in that match. Even in terms of Pokemon, like, I can't see a clear win condition there, because they have so many win conditions, whereas, like, it's really tough to react, because, like, Moltres and Lugia are just so much tougher to use against Glastrier. Like, Glastrier / Calyrex Ice, actually, Glastrier is even tougher to go up against than Calyrex Ice, I would say, but, yeah. Alright, let's play this last match, though. We've got Yveltal here. Lugia actually hits everything for super effective damage here. Like, literally everything with ground, ice, and flying. I'm down. I just gotta set it up properly. Problem with Raichu Lugia is that they have double Fake Out, but I guess our Fake Out's faster. What if I just wrote Raichu Moltres, actually? Lugia in the back. Wait, hold on. Let's reconsider this, actually. Yeah, new option. I think it's going to be Whimsicott, Moltres, Raichu, Lugia in the back. And the reason for this is because I don't want to commit a Dynamax early, and I think if they lead very passively, Moltres can nasty plot up. I also, by making this lead, I have the potential to switch Whimsicott into Raichu for Lightning Rod. I guess Koko's interesting here. Like, AV Koko's pretty good right now. It could just be Life Orb Koko. And that is going to be Incin and Koko. Okay. I mean, if I went Raichu Lugia, I could, I guess, fake out Max Quake turn 1, but I don't want to commit my Max too early on in this matchup, so, yeah. Would they Dynamax Koko here? I don't think so. Because here's what I want to do. I kind of want to just switch Whimsicott out into Raichu. I guess Protect is best, right? Because then I can fake out Nasty Plot next turn. Okay. I think I'm down for that. Nasty Plot's not even that good for us here. Raichu Lugia, actually, I think could have been okay, because I could just go fake out... I don't know. I really didn't want to max early. Okay. They don't max. It is Nature's Madness. Yeah, this is what I was saying by defensive Kokos. Okay, they do double up onto Moltres, which is good. Okay, this is going to be Assault Vest Koko then, I think. And the problem is that it's just going to Nature's Madness. And man, now even if I self-Volt Switch with the terrain up, it does so much into Lugia. So that's not ideal. I can fake out here and Nasty Plot. It's not really the best play. And then, like, next turn, max Airstream Volt Switch into Incineroar. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. Oh, they just go for Electro Web. Okay, I mean, I guess I'd rather see Electro Web here. Oh, Moltres dodges. Okay, that's a really big deal, actually. Yeah, I think now we do Dynamax Moltres for sure. I just don't think I can get Lugia out anytime soon. And with the special attack boost on this, I think Volt Switch Airstream should definitely knock out. So, yep. Even if the Electro Web hits, I mean, it does a little bit of damage. Our speed is dropped, but I think we would still have speed. Actually, I don't know. If you're considering a speed investment, maybe not. Then I'd maybe consider nuzzling instead of Volt Switching. Actually, maybe I should have just nuzzled here. But I'd rather... I don't even know if this double up KOs, but I think if you're Nature's Madness Koko, you're typically Assault Vest. So that's my assumption. Can I do anything with Lugia? I mean, it sucks against Yveltal, but it could be interesting in the late game. Especially if I give it a speed boost and like my opponent ends up like activating the weakness policy with an Electro Web. Okay, they do just Nature's Madness here. That's fine. I don't mind that. I'll get the Volt Switch off. Oh, please tell me +2 Airstream KOs Incineroar. I don't even know if it does, but... It's actually an interesting decision whether or not I want to go into Whimsicott or Lugia, because Whimsicott lets me Tailwind. I think I like going out into Lugia, though, because even if you have Yveltal in the back, you're not going to one-shot... Well, maybe Max Darkness one-shots. And I also like the idea of giving Lugia a speed boost here. This team has a lot of good speed control, which is awesome. Okay, we do get the knockout there on Incineroar, which is great. Still don't know if we outspeed the Koko at +1, because I don't think this Moltres is max speed. But it's definitely an interesting position. Because Lugia is actually pretty good against anything that doesn't max, but I think Yveltal just comes in here and maxes. If like Yveltal's not coming out here, we're in really good shape. But there's just... I can't foresee it not coming out right now. But then the question is, can we divert the attention away, basically have an end game? Because they do have super effective attacks against Yveltal, right? Like Volt Switch, Nuzzle. I don't know, they're taking a while to decide what to bring in here. So if indeed it is an Yveltal, that would be incredible for us. I just like... It's Landorus! Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, I'm very happy to not see Yveltal come out. Well, maybe they just want to sell out my Dynamax, right? That's also a likely possibility. We're at +1 speed, +2 special attack, +1 speed with this thing. Got Whimsicott and Raichu in the back. We know they have Nature's Madness. You're probably Assault Vest on this thing. 2 turns of terrain left. I mean, I have Blizzard. I like Airstreaming to just try to outspeed the Koko, even if they go for Electro Webs, like Blizzard here. Actually, why not just double up on... No, Blizzard is good in case they Dynamax Landorus. Yeah. And I'm gonna max Airstream here. It's just scary. Oh, yeah, they're gonna max Landorus, it looks like. That makes sense. Use regular Yveltal in the back. Okay. But this means Moltres is actually in a pretty good spot. So let's see. I mean, first of all, let's see if Koko still outspeeds us. It doesn't, and we actually hit Blizzard. So I think Landorus just faints here? Yeah, they are faster with the Koko. Which means you just activated my trap card, Weakness Policy on Lugia. And so if you're not Rock Falling to one-shot it here, now we have +2 Lugia to play with too. Here is Rockfall coming out, probably into Lugia as well. I don't even think that KOs. Oh, they target Moltres. Okay, that did not knock out. That was really close though. Because now I should one-shot Landorus. Actually, even if we don't one-shot, that's fine, right? Because I can just Earth Power. Oh no, we have Berserk, so this is definitely KOing. It's +3 max Airstream. And their Life Orb, yeah. That explains why Rockfall did so much. Okay, nice. Get the knockout onto that. Get a speed boost. Now we should outspeed Koko with Lugia, which means Earth Power should knock it out. I'm like 75% sure it's Assault Vest. I guess like it doesn't have to be. We've only seen Electro Web and Nature's Madness. AV is just really common with sets like that, but AV could definitely be on Yveltal as well. Although I think it's more likely for Yveltal to be Policy'd here. That's Yveltal coming out. I don't know. I think it might have just been better for my opponent to have maxed Yveltal in this game, but I guess they didn't think they would win the 1v1 against the Moltres, and they were hoping to Rockfall one-shot, which would make sense, right? But I think here I can just Earth Power into the Tapu Koko. And, I like Max Darkness to get a lower special defense drop onto Yveltal, and I like targeting Koko here, because I think they just end up forfeiting. Okay. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I think, like, man, I played a bunch of practice games with this team, and, like, a lot of them, I just forced Lugia way too hard, and I think my takeaway, I don't know, I guess Game 3 was the only game we didn't bring Lugia out, but, like, you do have to know when to max and when not to max with it, and, like, I would say I almost always lose when I max, don't have the policy activated, and I just don't do very much damage. So, yeah, like, things I struggled with generally were just Ice-type Pokemon in general, Kyurem Ice, Calyrex Ice, or Kyurem White, Calyrex Ice, Glastrier, to name a couple. Those were tricky. Redirection users obviously it makes the weakness policy setup a little bit more difficult, so I can't just like self-ult switch as easily, for example. Trick Room is actually, I think, really hard, to be honest, because this team doesn't have that much damage output. So I don't think I ever played Stack Attacka fully correctly when going up against Trick Room, so that was part of the mistake as well. Like, I got my butt kicked by someone using Necrozma. That was, like, just really bulky Pokemon in general are tough. Screens are tough as well. So, yeah. But that being said, I mean, Lugia honestly really impressed in the matches that it came out in today. But, as I mentioned, there's, like, the complete opposite end of the spectrum where it just does absolutely no damage and it's super, super underwhelming. And so I think when playing with this team, it's important to identify when it can actually put in a lot of work and when you should just potentially leave it on the bench, because often it's just not worth bringing, to be honest. So very matchup dependent, but yeah, it absolutely performed well today, so I'm happy about that. And I see what my opponent was going for. I think if that Life Orb Rockfall does one-shot the Moltres there, it's definitely very doable for my opponent to win that game. But, yeah, because I don't even get the Airstream speed boost onto Lugia, so then you can just Electro Web Rockfall. So, I didn't even talk about how, like, critical surviving that last turn was. Because, like, what else were the other options? After that, Whimsicott, that's not great. Raichu, that's not great either. So, yeah, if Moltres faints there, I think we actually lose the game. So very clutch that it was able to survive. Now, granted, Moltres is pretty bulky, so I was expecting to survive, but it was really close. But yeah, this Moltres is not max special attack, max speed. It does have a fair amount of bulk, so that absolutely played huge for us here. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much as always for watching. Thank you once again to the original creator for the team. Details linked down in the description below. And yeah, thank you to you all as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time. All right, peace.